Well, the thing is, once they did say that too, is we kind of just like got pushed away, and like that whole plan or idea that we had or the route we wanted to go just got like thrown out the window.
Yeah, we decided to not go forward with our hospital birth.
Knowing you should only get 2 because if you
Yeah,
get 3, it's gonna be too sweet.
because he
And
knows.
then sometimes she'll go ahead and get the 3, and then she's like, "This is way too sweet." And I said, "I told you that you're gonna know that it's gonna be too sweet."
Yeah, so I mean,
So
like in a
sometimes she
nutshell.
needs it.
Hey
Hey,
y'all,
y'all.
welcome back. We just went on a little Starbucks run, which is actually not our first choice. We wanted to go to Phil's, that's our favorite coffee place. But as you can see, it is raining outside, and Starbucks is convenient because they have a drive-through. So we're like, we don't want to get wet. So
Already wet enough just going in and out of the house. So
yeah. So we ended up going to Starbucks, and today I got a hot drink because we're feeling the winter cozy vibes. And this is the first time I tried the cinnamon dolce latte, which is actually really, really good. So today was a major hit with Starbucks. I got it with brevet, which is half and half, and then I got 2 pumps cinnamon dolce, which is the syrup. So it's like half sweet, and I feel like it's like perfect. It's really, really good. And then Eldon just got his
trusty
go-to.
old
Your ride or
brown
die.
sugar shaken espresso with oat milk and 4 pumps of sweetener.
Don't you usually get 3 like me?
Sometimes it's like not enough flavor, so
Oh.
I do 4.
That's true, because the syrups are the flavors.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just chilling and wanted to catch up with you guys on basically our birth journey, because it's coming up so soon and we've had some major changes in the last week. So we wanted to update you because we obviously don't know how much time we have until the baby gets here. So we're trying to keep you guys updated on everything before it all happens so fast. So if you guys are here from the title of the video, then you guys already know that we decided to not go forward with our hospital birth. And honestly, this is not like something we decided overnight. It's something I've been wanting to do forever. I did mention this on my stories about a week ago, that ever since I can remember, I always knew that if I were to ever have a baby, that I would want to do a water birth. And obviously once I got pregnant, I looked into it and I watched so many videos about moms doing water births, and every single one that I watched highly recommend it, and also said that they would do it over and over and over with every single baby, and it was just so much more of a calm and peaceful experience. Not to say that hospital births can't be that, but I think just because I had that like set in my mind, I knew that was the route that I wanted to go.
It is a lot on you to
Yeah.
be giving birth.
Yeah.
So it is still going through a lot, and your body's going through a lot, but like
Mentally,
I guess
also.
like mentally and just being able to like feel more at peace at where you are, and just feel more comfortable with the situation and
Yeah.
the place that you're in.
And not rushing to the hospital and like,
Having the baby in the car.
yeah. Well,
That's happened to a few people. You never know, like,
Yeah.
if that happens to you or anyone.
obviously we hope for a smooth delivery and everything to be safe and sound at home, but we also have a plan B in place, just in case emergencies,
Complications, anything
complications, something happens, then obviously we're going to go to the hospital. So rewind all the way back to our very first appointment. I actually asked our OB about it because I didn't know how it works. Like, I didn't know if the OB does water births, if they do that at the hospital, or if this is something that it's like completely elective and like your own personal choice. And there are hospitals that offer like birthing tubs, but because there are none in our area, that's why we're going to be doing it at home with a midwife. Midwives, actually. There's 2 on the team that we are going with, which I feel like I'll touch back onto that topic. But when I asked my OB about it, she was 100% against it. And obviously, as a doctor and an OB that works in the hospital, they're always going to, I guess, recommend the most safe and medical way.
Like the standard practice.
Yeah, the standard way that they know. So it's not like I expected her to be like, hell yeah, give birth at home. She also didn't recommend me even going to a birthing center, because there are also birthing centers that have like the water birth option. She literally told me that all of her patients that come from birthing centers or home births are either dying or already dead. Like, she literally was just straight up. And that really honestly scared me.
Well, the thing is, once they did say that too, is we kind of just like got pushed away, and like that whole plan or idea that we had or the route we wanted to go just got like thrown out the window.
Yeah.
And it's like always there in the back of our heads, but like you just like feel like
you trust.
Yeah, you trust that person that's supposed to be there for your care, and now you just have to go their way that they're saying, because you're so scared of what they just told you.
Right. And another thing is, our OB kind of got in our heads saying that our baby's head is getting big. She's like, the body is average, but the head is big. So that means we need to induce you at 39 weeks. Or she said, we would like to induce you at 39 weeks, which is literally around the corner. So us not knowing the difference, I was under the impression that inductions were only when you have some sort of complication that you need to push the baby out before it's even ready to come out. And that's basically what an induction is. And I'm not saying we're opposed to it. We're not against it. But Eldon was like...
Well, under the right circumstances, I think it's okay to do. But like when that was like brought up to me, and then like other people have asked me about it too, I said, I'm not for it, because I feel like your body knows and the baby knows. It's like when it's the right time to come out.
On its own.
Because your body is making this baby inside of you, and your body should know, like, okay, now is time. Obviously, it's if you have a healthy pregnancy, but unless there are complications, I see why there would be reasons. We're not against it, like, if we need to do it, but I want it to be as natural as the pregnancy should be.
Right. And Eldon's also very supportive with my decision, you know, on whether I want to go all natural or if I want an epidural. He always encourages me that I'm strong, and he knows I can do it all natural, and that's my goal. So at the hospital, like, that was always my goal, to go in with no medication, no epidural, completely all natural, and then obviously just see what happens. And if I'm like, you know, excruciating pain and I can't handle it, then I will decide to get the epidural.
Also, they kind of like trick you into it.
Yeah.
Or it seems like they trick you into it, because a lot of them will be like, okay, you're induced. And then so the contractions come, they come painful, very painful, because your body is forcing these contractions, not natural contractions. And then they're like, okay.
Medicated.
Yeah, it's a medicated contraction. And then it's like, okay, now it's been this long and you're not pushing the baby out, so we're going to have to give you more medicine to make your contractions even more frequent and more, like, how do you say it? Yeah, like more intense.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, now she's in all this pain. Now she's going to want the epidural because she's in so much pain, where it's just like this, like,
constant
like a
cycle.
Yeah, cycle. It's like a snowball effect where they just keep adding these things on to where it's like, okay, now the baby's still not coming out. Now you need a C-section, which is like completely derailed the whole thing that we have like a goal towards in the beginning.
Yeah. And obviously he knows this because he's been doing a lot of research himself, and
seen so many people post about their experience on how that, like, the same exact like cycle has just gone, like, with so many women. And it's just like all of them too, it's on the doctor's time, because the doctor's like, okay, we're gonna schedule you on the day that I work. It's like, okay, that just like don't sound right to me, because it's like, oh, the day that it works for you, but like, what's the right time that your body is actually supposed to give birth?
Well, and that's what she pitched it. That's how she pitched it to us too. Like, A, the baby's head is too big, and B, wouldn't it feel so much better that you guys are scheduled and and you're prepared when to come in, and then you don't have to worry about rushing in? And she goes, and also, I can make sure I'm here, because if not, then you may have a doctor you've never met before. So they kind of like paint this picture and idea. And again, we're not against the medications, we're not against C-section, we're not against epidurals, but our goal personally, and I say our because Eldon obviously is my biggest support system, and I rely on him a lot for his opinion too, not to say, oh, I'm only doing something because he told me to do it or he told me not to do it, but I really trust his judgment and his instinct as well. So even when it comes down to coffee, I'm like, should I get that? And he's like, it's up to you. But I'm like, no, but should I get it? Like, do you think it'll taste good? Because I'm just very like reliant.
And then I'll tell her, because she's like, should I get 2 or 3 pumps? And I'm like, knowing you should only get 2, because if you get 3, it's going to be too sweet.
Because he knows.
And then sometimes she'll go ahead and get the 3, and then she's like, this is way too sweet. And I said, I told you that you're going to know that it's going to be too sweet.
Yeah, so I mean, like, in a nutshell, I feel like sometimes you know me better than I know myself. So that's where I really rely on his moral support.
We talk about it a lot too.
We talk about it, every day.
Is like, I'm not also just trying to force anything on her or whatever. There's things that, like, if she questions, then I'll go and do more research on it and explain. And like, I like to see the pros and cons of doing both things. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to find like just like a neutral opinion on something, because a lot of times you'll go somewhere and it'll be like all this way, and then if you go another place, it's going to be all this way. But it just takes so much time and research to finding like that neutral opinion. And I feel like even just with speaking with the midwives, like that's how we feel with them, is like they will explain everything to us like
to the best of their knowledge.
Yeah, the best of their knowledge, and let us make the final decision on like, okay, if you guys want this or if you guys want to do this, like they let us make the final decision, and they're very supportive of our decision. Yeah,
and ultimately that's what we want, because touching base on what I said before, I kind of got sidetracked. We're not against medicine and the hospital and medical resources, but we just prefer to do it all natural if we can, and then obviously, take each decision step by step, do our research and our due diligence, and then we decide what's going to be best. And even at that point, it's hard. Like, it's so hard to decide, especially, for our first baby. We don't know what the outcome is, and we're not saying whether it's right or wrong. It's just we need to make the best decision for ourselves, like what
and
we
our situation
think. So I think it all comes down to kind of like just going with your instinct and trusting your gut. I just feel that I was meant to do a water birth, and I know it sounds kind of crazy, I guess, doing it at home, especially for my first time. I got an overwhelming amount of replies when I was talking about it on my Instagram stories. It was kind of 50-50. A lot of people are like, do it. Like, if that's what you feel most safe and comfortable doing, like, totally do it at home. But then the other half are obviously like, no, definitely not. Especially as a first-time mom, like, you want to make sure that you're in the hospital and somewhere safe, just in case anything happens in, a couple minutes. They have everything there. So I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm definitely scared, but I'm scared regardless. I also feel like just being in the hospital with like all the commotion, the nurses, the beeping, the monitors, the IVs, like, it just makes me feel really anxious. And I feel like that stress will make my experience like more stressful, basically, versus like, literally, we're just waiting around now for the baby to come when he or she is ready at home. And obviously we've been nesting, if you will, and getting everything ready. And, we're trying to keep the house super sparkling so that we welcome this baby with like a clean slate. So now fast forward months and months later, here I am feeling so uneasy about our hospital birth, and we already registered at the hospital too, because we had not an emergency, but I was experiencing some really sharp pains and extreme pressure in my belly. And so when I talked to my OB, she told me to go to the hospital just to make sure everything was okay. So we ended up going, and thank God everything was good, but we got to experience like what it was going to feel like and where to go, how to check in, and then we registered for the hospital. So it felt like,
it was like a mini tour.
yeah, it was like a little trial run, if you will. And it started to feel so real in that moment that I was like, oh my God, this is literally gonna happen like so soon. And then I think after that and going home, I was like, dang, like I don't want to give birth in a hospital. And I'm not opposed to it. I'm not saying that
you can't.
Yeah, like I can't, and I never will. But I'm just saying in my heart, I just feel like I was meant to do a water birth. And we have done so much research this entire pregnancy. Like, you guys know, Eldon is so hands-on with even researching things that I put on or in my body, all my skincare, and just like what I eat. And yeah, we can't be 100% perfect, you know, but at the same time, like, we definitely do our best to make sure that everything is safe for me and the baby. And so that also comes down to medications and vaccines and just everything. So when we were researching for midwife, like, I've known what they are, but I didn't really know in depth of like how much they do for you. And it's crazy because even in our first phone call, like, it was about an hour meeting, we learned so much more than our OB like taught us, I guess, or shared with us in the whole entire 8-9 months. And it's crazy because all those appointments, we've only seen her physically face to face like 3 times, because majority of my appointments are with the nurse practitioner. And I love all of them. They're all really sweet, but I'm just saying, like, when it comes down to, you know, really feeling like you're in the absolute best care and getting all the knowledge you can possibly get. Obviously, it's up to you also how much you want to learn. So we do that on our own, but you also want to feel like the person who's delivering your baby or taking care of you also cares to share as much knowledge with you, because it's our first time and we don't know anything. Well, we didn't know anything. So yeah, she's my OB, but I literally feel like we have no connection whatsoever. Like, we've only seen her like literally 3 times. So on top of that, all of our appointments are only 5 minutes. It's like we're in and out. That's it. Even though we did a lot of research and we learned a lot, I'm not gonna lie, like I was telling Eldon, I feel so lost. Like, I'm about to have a freaking whole ass baby soon, and I genuinely feel so lost until we met with the midwives, and they have brought so much comfort and ease and just like peace of mind to both of us. I immediately slept that night, like, just like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders.
Like peace and just,
yeah,
like,
and I felt very confident with our decision. And again, like I said, I am scared, and I'm not scared of them or not scared of the hospital. I'm scared of childbirth because it's my first time. Like, who wouldn't be, you know? And out of all the scary stories I've heard, like, I'm trying not to let that really like affect my mental state, but at the same time, like, you can't help but to think the worst. So with all that being said, like, having the midwives and their support mentally, physically, like, I just feel like
the right choice, the right decision going forward.
And also just knowing that we're going to be, again, home with the piggies, and we don't have to worry about, like, having our dog sitter on call, like, hey, can you come at, like, 3:30 in the morning or whatever, you know? We don't know what time or when it's going to go down, which we love our sitter. Like, she's so sweet, and she's, like, super flexible. So she told us, like, hey, like, I'm going to be free around that time so that she can literally just hop on over. But at the same time, like, you know, knock on wood, we don't know, we could still end up at the hospital, but Lord willing, everything goes smoothly and we have a calm and safe delivery. And also it brought a lot of comfort to me knowing that, like, after this is all done, I can just lay in my bed. Like, I don't have to be in the hospital for 2 to 3 days, being away from my fur babies, and
I'll be able to sleep on
yeah,
our own bed too, and
yeah,
not
you'll
on
be
that
able
little
to be there.
little
And
bench bed.
I mean, not like you wouldn't though. Like,
Yeah.
Eldon will literally sleep on the
floor,
ground.
yeah.
He will.
But it's just nice.
I mean,
It's
same
a
here.
nice
Like,
addition.
for each other, especially, and for our baby. But it is nice to be in the comfort of your own home, you know, and not have to worry about, again, all the commotion that's going on in the hospital, because that alone gives me a lot of anxiety, and that just is so unsettling. I'm so grateful to be able to experience this and also bring you guys along the journey with us, because I know it's not like the most popular way, I guess, especially, you know, giving birth at home is scary for a lot of people, as it is for us too. But again, I feel like we really want to share this experience with you guys to not only bring awareness, but just seeing your options. Like, I'm not saying you have to do a home birth or water birth or don't do it in the hospital. That's not what we're saying at all. I think it's just cool to see
What's right for you,
Yeah.
what's right for your family,
Right.
what works for you, what makes you the most comfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
And obviously we hope for the best, like I said, but we're all gonna find out together, like,
yeah.
what this experience does for us. And we don't know, maybe the next one will be like, oh no, absolutely not, we're definitely going to go to the hospital for baby number 2, if that's in our future.
Also, if you're like, to be sure that you're a good candidate for
Yeah.
it, because
Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to have a low risk pregnancy. Obviously, there's so many things you guys have to factor in and look into before knowing that you can do a home birth. But I feel like once we go through this journey, we will definitely be able to answer every single question you guys have and answer our own questions, because we still have not done it yet. And we'll definitely keep you guys updated with everything that goes down, everything that our midwives are doing for us. As of right now, I can tell you guys that a midwife basically covers all your prenatal appointments for your entire pregnancy, which we're bummed about because we didn't get that for the whole duration
all the previous months
of the pregnancy so far. But like I said, even just now going into the last stretch of it and just a few weeks, I already feel so much comfort and confidence as well. They also include lactation support, and they stay after the birth. I think she said like 4 hours at our house. That way, you know, they're there for support and just to make sure everything's okay. They check me and the baby head to toe, all of our vitals, and just make sure we're healthy and we're safe to be at home. And they're obviously not against the hospital either. Like, they know to be prepared, and
for the right situation.
Yeah.
Like, if that needs to be done, then.
And they said they don't wait till it's an emergency. Like, they know if, you know, it's not going to be possible to continue giving birth at home, then they're going to go with us to the hospital and get us situated there. And they also highly recommended the hospital that it's a little further away from us than the hospital that's right by us, but they told us it's so much more worth it to know that we're going to guaranteed get the care that they would want for us. And also they said that they have a good relationship with the doctors and the nurses there. So we just really wanted to be open and honest about this whole experience with you guys and share everything, because it's new for us, and I'm sure it's new for some of you guys watching. But also we want to hear feedback about experiences if other mommies and daddies have gone through this, and we would love to hear about your experiences. So if you guys can share, you know, even just small things with us in the comments. I just feel like learning from other people's experiences is the best way to do it. That was another thing that our midwife recommended us to watch, a documentary called Business of Being Born, and it's on Amazon, I think.
Yeah, I think it's on a few different things that you can rent it. It's
So,
an older documentary.
It's old, girl.
but it brings a lot of insight.
So much insight, and everything that we didn't know yet, we found out so much more. And it just gives you a lot of awareness and, I guess, precaution, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Is to, like, both sides, a hospital birth, home birth, water birth, all that. And like, it just shares so much information about what midwives do. Also a doula. We will give you guys all that information the more we go through it, because right now we're still learning about this process. We have an appointment actually in a day from today with our midwife, so we're really looking forward to that, and we'll just keep you guys updated on everything that goes down. Obviously we have like the whole breakdown of what they're going to be doing for us and the support they provide, but we're not going to truly know until we go through it. So we're very honored to be able to share this with you guys, and if you have any questions for us, please leave them down below. That way we can kind of keep notes of what we need to share with you as we go through this crazy experience, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I was more anxious and nervous than anything, but now that I have more comfort and peace of mind, I'm excited. And yeah, we can't wait to bring you guys along this journey with us and just share all these special moments with you. So we will try and film as much as we can. I mean, I could literally give birth in a couple days. I don't know how many times we're gonna be able to see you guys until the baby comes, but we're just doing our best to really stay calm and support each other. Oh, that's another thing that we want to nest with you guys. So we're gonna be filming that one next, and basically like putting together our bedside, or do they call it bedside? Diaper cart? I guess technically it's bedside, but girl, we're gonna be rolling that around our whole house.
Bedroom diaper cart.
Yeah. And we did look up some other mommy YouTube videos that like put theirs together, and Eldon wants to do it with me. So if you guys have any recommendations to add into the cart that's not, I guess, the obvious essential, please let us know, because that will be so helpful. And hopefully we can film that within the next couple days. And then just show you guys other things that we're doing to nest around the house and prepare for our baby. But yeah, we are so excited. Thank you so much for taking the time to just hang out and listen to this, because I feel like it'll be very valuable information. Maybe not necessarily this video, but in the coming videos, once we're able to like answer more questions, we would love to be that extra support if, you know, you're thinking about doing this, or even just want to know how it all works, because I still want to know how it all works. But
there's a lot to learn.
Yeah, there is a lot to learn. But yeah, thanks again for watching. We love you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.